So I've been hearing a lot of talk lately about the Revolutionary Army and specifically Dragon himself being a fraud. Now, despite what I have said in the past, I have come across some information that makes these allegations absolutely not false. It's true. Dragon's trash, y'all. I'm sorry. Here's the sticking point about all this, though, okay? In chapter 1097, right? The chapter in which we get the full visage of what Guinea looks like as an adult. She looks like a Hooters waitress, which is very funny, but that's beside the point. At the end of that chapter, when Evenkoff and Dragon come to the Sorbet Kingdom to free Guinea and Goyo Goyo and Kuma from Bikori's prison, right? After that, it says that the freedom fighters then become the Revolutionary Army after Kuma joins, not before, because we see all three of them suited up walking out, right? So they become a worldwide organization that is both respected and feared after Kuma becomes a part of that organization. Why is this so interesting? Well, here's the thing. So we've been in the Kuma flashback for a few weeks, right? This, I think, is Bonnie's sort of visage into what was inside Kuma's memory bubble. So this is Bonnie seeing the memories of Kuma. And I guess also, as a little cheat, we get a sneak peek into her own memories as she starts her adventure as a 10-year-old girl with the Toshi no Mi, or the age fruit, right? But here's the sticking point that really starts to bother me. Kuma does not know hockey. There is no evidence, none whatsoever, in the present story or in the past that Kuma can use hockey. And then to make things worse, in the latest chapter, which at the time of this recording is chapter 1101, it shows that even during Kuma's whole transition into a pacifista prototype, he's still helping the Revolutionary Army. He's still the backbone of the entire organization. And he's doing all of this without hockey. All he has is some really, really good physiology because he's a buccaneer and he has a really cool devil fruit in the pawpaw fruit. That's all he's got as far as we know. He was doing all of this even before I think they really got into the whole big cyborg conversion stuff, because the thing that really makes him very formidable as a cyborg are the mouth lasers that he can do. But at the time of which Kuma and Vegapunk are talking, I don't even think that was installed yet. So the fact that from the beginning of the organization, coming up from just a band of mercenaries into a legit organization, all the way up to where the cyborg modifications were in their preliminary stages, he was holding up the entirety of the Revolutionary Army without hockey. Mind you, Dragon supposedly has hockey. So you mean to tell me, I just can't get over this fact, that Kuma made the whole organization important just by existing and doing things without hockey whatsoever? Do you realize how garbage that makes the organization as a whole? Let's look at all the other big organizations in One Piece. All your Yonko organizations, the world government's Marines. Let's look at them. All the heavy hitters in all those organizations have hockey. Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, Blackbeard, the Straw Hats now, even Cross Guild, because we could at least assume or surmise that even though Buggy supposedly doesn't have hockey, we know Mihawk has hockey, and most likely Crocodile has hockey. So even then, Cross Guild has hockey users in its upper ranks. However, the Revolutionary Army was dependent on an individual who was just really tough and had a really good grasp on a broken devil fruit. Because again, the freedom fighters do not become the Revolutionary Army until Kuma joins. Like, I don't know how much I need to stress how weird that is. They become a threat to the world government after this one man joins. And they say that Kuma, Ivankov, and Dragon are the three pillars. No, there's just one pillar, and that's Kuma. The other two are trash in comparison, because you can't convince me at this moment that Dragon is anything but a fraud if you're allowing this one man to hold up the entirety of your organization. It just doesn't make sense. Now, you can argue in the comments about if this is right or wrong, but as the story is being laid out, this seems to be the case, which leads me to believe, like I said in that Evil Even Call video, that it's very likely if there was an organization to fall that's not a traditional pirate organization in One Piece, it would be the Revolutionary Army. Because especially as Sabo is coming into his own being, almost detached from the Revolutionary Army, it seems as though there's going to be a divide in which the Revolutionary Army, as we know it, is going to fall, and then it's going to fall again on Sabo's shoulders to rebuild the entire organization. This time, perhaps in the right way. Also, again, I can't see us once more having another one of Luffy's brothers perpetually living in the shadow of another man with a greater reputation for the entirety of this narrative, because we did that entire song and dance with Ace and Whitebeard. Whitebeard was the strongest man in the world. Ace was only his second commander. That's what I mean. Sabo currently is in the same boat as Dragon is, supposedly, which I don't know. But yeah, he's the most wanted man in the world. That's a fact. He is the most wanted man in the world. Sabo, like Ace was, is just Dragon's second in command. He is in Dragon's shadow until recently, when people started praising his name in the streets as the Flame Emperor. So we're starting to see something happen with Sabo that did not occur with Ace. So that's something to really start to think about, and really start to make me think that there is going to be a downfall, and Sabo is going to have to be the actual phoenix that rises from the ashes and builds an entire new revolutionary army off of the momentum that he is getting from his exploits so far. I don't know about you guys, but the fact that Kuma was still the backbone of the Revolutionary Army when he was still undergoing his cyborg enhancements and was not a part of the Revolutionary Army officially anymore kind of spins a weird tale when you start to compare the commanders of the Revolutionary Army to other top brass of other rival organizations. Look at all the Yonko organizations again. Even like the lower level guys like Who's Who and Black Maria, they aren't the toughest guys in the ring, but they're still more impressive than the likes of Morley, who is a giant, whom should be impressive, but he's really not. I don't know what to say about that. And this could just be opinion, and there's more to come. That's very fair. But I'm not getting a good breath of what all these guys can do. Limburg is a mink with like a freeze gun. That's cool. Blackbeard has the literal Iceman, though. He has a former admiral. Like, the power of Kuzan alone kind of washes a lot of what the Revolutionary Army can do. I'm baffled. I'm simply baffled. And then look at Bello Betty. Look at Karasu. Karasu's a Logia, very true. But the potency in comparison to even the likes of Green Bull and Kizaru, I don't know, brother. Can Soot beat Light? Is Soot beating an entire forest? I don't know. That's what gives me pause. Because what do we talk about now? And then it's not like any of these guys are lacking hockey. Logia power doesn't mean as much as it did back in the Grand Line, brother. It just doesn't. It's cool. It's still devastating, but it doesn't mean as much because everybody else who's a top tier in all these other rival factions has hockey. So you being a cute little Logia, you're going to get mollywopped. You're going to get washed. It doesn't matter because the way that Dragon is running it, I don't know if we're going to have Dragon's Revolutionary Army make it through the entirety of the narrative. I don't think so at this point, because to have Kuma be the support for the entire organization is wild. That just shows you how powerful Kuma was. And again, all this was done supposedly without hockey because we have no evidence that he has it. Insane. That's simply insane. But you know what? Give me your thoughts. I just can't get over it. But yeah, see you next time.